February the very 1st. At the beginning there was the word. No, I'm not quoting scripture to you. I'm referring to large language models, of course. Mirroring scripture though, let's start at the beginning. In 1858. The very first transatlantic cable was so noisy it took 2 minutes of repeated Morse code to transmit with a single letter. The whole message of 99 words from Queen Victoria took 17 hours and 40 minutes to send to President Buchanan. The cable back failed because they increased the volume of the signal, meaning the voltage, and it damaged the equipment. Better ideas were needed to accomplish something like transatlantic telephony, and that led in the 1920s in the Bell Labs to the idea to measure information quantitatively. Ralph Hartley ditched all psychology around communication and instead thought of information as something more absolute, with an independent existence outside the human mind. That was revolutionary. A key piece of Hartley's work was the idea that constructing any message in any language or abstract representation involves selecting specific symbols out of a number of possible symbols, the alphabet. But as you select these symbols, you effectively eliminate others from being used. You use an A and then you don't use B to Z. A guy called Claude Shannon then added to the insight that language is inherently probabilistic. Certain symbols are chosen more often than others, like E's, and more often chosen in certain combinations. The same goes for the order of words, and that is the basis for the way large language models are trained today. What they learn is to select the most probable letter and word to follow the one that came before in a certain context based on having read millions of pages. Why bother? Why teach computers to speak like humans when humans like my brother have learned to think and speak like computers? Why create a huge carbon footprint just to accomplish that? Because the human language, the language of a Homo sapiens, made us special. The abstract we can talk about, the fact that we were able to realize the independent existence of information outside of our mind only we can discover, extract, and use to create new ideas, that's the basis of our power. More importantly, the stories we spin. Some of us have individual genius. There's no reason to believe that the prehistoric people had not some like those, but the individual genius was never enough to lift us above everyone else. In fact, research points to the fact that Homo neanderthalis were on average smarter than us, the Homo sapiens, and that we might have stolen some of their inventions. What language, however, allows us to do is to cooperate better than any other animal. We can cooperate in much larger numbers and much more flexible than even our Homo cousins. And every large-scale cooperation, whether religion or a nation or a corporation or even money, is based on a story, fiction, mythology that exists only in our minds, shaped by words. Now, language is a tool. Stories are tools like bows and arrows or pizza. As long as we use this particular tool to cooperate and help each other, that's wonderful. That's a source of immense power. But our minds are like factories that constantly produce fiction that then come between us and the world. And we often spend all of our life interacting with fictions that other people have created, completely losing touch with reality. Much of what we take for real today is fiction. Fiction meant to manipulate us. We are made to hate each other over fiction. We fight wars over fiction and the dominance over the space where these fictions live, our minds. The ability to tell the difference between what is fiction and what is a universal truth is a crucial skill, a skill that needs constant training. We are not getting better at that. We are not training enough. On the contrary, we are bombarded with information, so we have no time to do the distinction. And now we teach artificial intelligence to spin stories and tell them to us. We're transferring what made us special. We are sharing our power. Work on yours. Learn what can be changed and how it changes to take your agency back. Think, make a habit of not just consuming, but digesting, like with food. You don't just eat, you digest. Make a habit out of thinking. Make it a movement. Comment, like, and share. And thank you for listening.